When the P-38 Lightning first appeared over the Pacific, Japanese pilots were truly puzzled. Its strange twin boom shape and central cockpit made it look like nothing they had ever seen. American flyers loved calling it the fork-tailed devil, yet that name actually started with German pilots who had learned to fear it. Soon whispers of this unusual aircraft reached Japanese intelligence. Was it a real threat, or just another slow American plane? From sudden long-range attacks to shaken pilot accounts, here is what Japan learned by late 1942. When the Lightning arrived, the Japanese Navy felt unstoppable. The Zero had ruled the early fights, shooting down Allied planes with ease. America, though, had been working on a different kind of fighter, not built for tight turns, but for pure speed, high flight, and incredible reach. Lockheed's strange design was already hunting in Europe. In the vast Pacific, its long range was exactly what America needed. It could meet the Japanese far from home and guard bombers deep in enemy skies. To Japanese pilots, this new machine was a mystery. Their training focused on close, agile battles, not high-speed chases. Early reports dismissed the Lightning as a heavy, clumsy target. But when P-38s reached the Solomon Islands, everything changed. They chased Zeros from great distance and often returned unharmed. This was clearly not just another fighter. It was built for a whole new kind of war. The P-38 Lightning was unique inside and out. Its two powerful engines pushed it past 400 miles per hour. That speed shocked Japanese planners used to facing slower American planes. It could fly over 1,000 miles on a single mission, patrolling huge ocean areas and still having fuel to fight. All its guns were mounted in the nose, a 20mm cannon and 4 machine guns. This meant every shot flew straight. Unlike wing guns that had to converge, Japanese pilots would later report its frightening accuracy. The P-38 was heavy, over 17,000 pounds, yet its twin engines and special propellers gave it steady control. While the Zero was light and agile, the Lightning could absorb damage and still fly home. What seemed like a clumsy giant was actually a long-range hunter. Japan was not ready for this kind of opponent. The Lightning's path to battle was full of trouble. When Lockheed showed its twin-boom design in 1937, many American officers doubted it. It looked too complex, too unusual for war. Early test flights revealed serious problems. Engines overheated, cockpits iced over, and dives could turn deadly. Some pilots were lost to a mystery called compressibility. The plane was also getting heavier with each improvement. Some officials wanted to cancel it and stick with simpler designs. But Lockheed refused to give up. Engineers fixed the cooling, improved the turbochargers, and strengthened the frame. Slowly, the Lightning became a machine that flew higher, faster, and farther than any Japanese fighter. When the Pacific War demanded range and firepower, the P-38 was finally ready. Its odd design was no longer a weakness. It became its greatest strength. The Lightning's first fights in 1942 were a shock. Japanese pilots at first treated it with scorn. They thought it was slow to turn and easy to trick into a close fight. But the P-38 did not follow their rules. American pilots learned to use its speed. They dove from high altitude, fired a sharp burst, and climbed away before the Zero could answer. Its speed meant it could start and end fights on its own terms. This infuriated Japanese aces who needed long duels to win. Most worrying for Japan was its ability to guard bombers far from home. Missions that were once suicide now had Lightnings watching over them. Reports noted the P-38 could arrive without warning and stay longer than expected. Its most famous mission came in April 1943. American P-38s intercepted and shot down Admiral Yamamoto's plane. That single act proved to Japan the Lightning was a strategic weapon. It could reach out and touch their most important leaders. Japanese intelligence reports show a slow change from doubt to respect. Early in 1943, they called it an overbuilt escort with poor turning. They believed their nimble Zeros could outfly it easily. But by late 1943, the tone changed. Internal warnings now called it a dangerous high-speed attacker. Pilots coming back from battles reported its true danger. It refused to turn and fight. Instead, it struck from above and vanished. One ace wrote in his diary, "It comes down like a hawk hits and is gone before you can shoot." The Lightning's long range added to the frustration Japanese crews described it, appearing from nowhere, attacking and fading into the clouds. It created a constant strain, forcing pilots to watch the skies even when they seemed empty. By 1944, the P-38 was no longer a curiosity. It was a calculated threat that demanded caution every time it appeared. The Lightning's tactics worried Japan as much as its design. American pilots learned to use speed and height, not tight turns. They practiced boom and zoom attacks over and over, dive fire and climb away before the enemy could react. This ignored the Zero's best skill. Its agility, Japanese pilots chasing a Lightning often stalled or lost it completely. The P-38's engines kept power high up where the Zero struggled. This let Americans pick the time and place of each fight. They also fought in smart pairs. One plane would lure Japanese fighters up while another dove down unseen. The nose guns made these slashing attacks deadly even from a distance. For the Japanese, this was maddening. Refusing a turning duel went against their warrior spirit. Lightning pilots used that pride against them. This combination of plane and tactics broke not just Japanese machines, but also their confidence. By mid-1943, Tokyo was no longer laughing. They were studying how to stop this fork-tailed devil. The P-38 changed how Japanese pilots felt about fighting early in the war. They faced American planes with arrogance. The Zero's agility made them feel untouchable. But the Lightning was different. It did not play by their rules. Reports from the Solomon Islands and New Guinea spoke of a growing unease. Its long range meant it could show up deep behind Japanese lines. Its speed meant once it was on your tail, escape was hard. Pilots felt a double fear of being caught and fear of missing a shot. This constant worry led to hesitation, that split-second delay that could mean death. The Lightning's toughness made it worse. Many veterans recalled hitting a P-38 only to see it dive away smoking but still flying. A Zero could not survive that punishment. As this fear took hold, even experienced Japanese aces became more cautious. They avoided risky moves that might leave them open. By 1944, the Lightning was more than a physical threat. It had become a mental one, eating away at Japanese confidence from within. The P-38's legacy is not just in numbers, it's shot down. Its real impact was how it changed the Pacific Air War. It forced Japan to see that speed and range could beat pure maneuverability. For America, it proved a plane did not need to be perfect at everything. It just needed the right tactics. The Lightning helped wear down Japan's best pilots. By enabling long missions, it contributed to destroying their veteran flyers. By 1944, new Japanese pilots had far less training than before. This loss of experience sped up Japan's fall from the skies. Its design influenced future fighters for years. The focus on concentrated guns, high speed, and pilot protection echoed in later jets. Perhaps most of all, the P-38 proved that perception is a weapon. The Japanese never shook the psychological edge the Lightning gained today. It is remembered not just as a machine, but as a symbol, the fork-tailed predator that changed the rules. In the end, the Lightning's greatest win was in the mind. What started as a strange shape on the horizon became a force that challenged Japan's tactics and shook their confidence. It showed that war is not won by the best paper design, but by the right tool in skilled hands guided by new ideas. Today, only a few Lightnings still fly. Their unique sound still draws eyes at air shows. They remind us that in air combat, adaptation beats perfection,